Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre, and Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, February 12th. What do we do, Landon? Landon's mad about something.
Jokes.
Oh, you're just mad in general.
I'm just.
Okay. I thought something was wrong with the show. It is Super Bowl Sunday, so we are here a few hours early. Get it out of the way so we can watch that game. Yeah, but I'm not. I was tweeting. I thought something was wrong. That's how I thought Landon was dead. I thought I was going to have to call Raven, go in there and check on him. But I was going to see how fast I couldn't get mad, but Landon reminded me how just miserable last night felt.
I mean, good Lord. You could even make that up.
And the moment that they got a free foul, no time off the clock, I said, last night's going to happen again. Or Wednesday night, sorry.
The lane violation didn't even matter because Sonny missed it.
Yeah, it wasn't going in. Almost airballed the first one, hit the front of the rim, the very front of the rim. And that sucks because, yeah, it happened Wednesday, but then he had two clutch ones seconds before. Well, that looked like it may have put it out of reach. So it really sucks. And I don't know, talk about the issues with the team. I really don't know if you can pinpoint it to one thing because, yeah, I am, frustrated with the way the team played and maybe the way the team was managed as well played into that. But at the end of the day, you had a chance to just win it and be done, and you didn't. And that's the name. I mean, yeah, we can nitpick things, but the name of the game is just win. And you lost both of them on dumb buzzer beaters. I mean, the other one was an easier one, but it was dumb that he was that wide open.
Yeah, and it would have been the third largest comeback in program history if Tennessee would have won that game last night.
Well, that would have been fun.
It's just unfortunate. And it's kind of been the same thing the past two games. It's, obviously the buzzer beater, the missed free throws, but it's teams that aren't normally a good shooting team just lighting it up from three. And, maybe there is something to it, but it just seemed like it was, the one that they hit at the end, it's like, what?
Yeah, it's like you said, unexplainable. And then what sucks even more about last night, Vanderbilt was frustrating for a number of reasons. Last night, first, 33 minutes of the game were incredible. Well, maybe shorter than that. 30 minutes of the game were incredibly frustrating. And then Tennessee plays pretty good beyond that. Seemed to get the defensive stops when it actually mattered to allow them to get back in it. And then the end of it just completely crapped the bed. You couldn't put them away. You couldn't put them away at the free throw line. It's frustrating. It's beyond frustrating.
Yeah.
What'd you end up shooting? I need to look at that because at one point you were like 17 for 20 at the free throw line.
Well, Waco's 1 for 6. So
yeah. 75.8, which isn't abysmal, but then when you look at when you miss those, that's real bad.
Yep. Just unfortunate.
Not good, by the way, either, regardless. Take it out. But also, if you just shoot a little less than 80%, you win the game.
In these two games, I thought Tyreek Key has played really well, but it's going to be overlooked by the fact that you lost on two buzzer beaters.
Yeah, you've definitely figured out the fact that he can't be your best player because when he has been, you haven't won. But what a back-to-back games from him. Kind of seems to come in on fire, and then I mean, he's always been pretty solid defensively. Maybe not your best, but pretty solid. And then when he starts scoring for you, he obviously looks really good, and it really sucks for him.
Yeah, and I thought Santi was a huge reason why Tennessee was back in that ball game too. And it's just, Rick Barnes and the rest of the players were, kind of taking up for him in the press conference. But it's like, dude, you're a senior. Like, I understand, like, it's basketball, it happens, but that's what you're going to be looked at, after your time is done at Tennessee.
Two in a row is tough.
Yeah.
2 in a row is tough. If you could, especially if you go back and hit last night's, people have pretty much forgotten about Wednesday. It's not going to be remembered. Doing it twice in a row makes that incredibly difficult. Like you said, though, you can't discount the fact that, and I mean, first off, good on the players. You shouldn't be doing anything but that in the press conference. But yeah, it's not ideal at all. Not.
And you can't have your starting point guard, get his 5th foul 80 feet from the basket. I mean,
and it didn't look like anybody was going to help press either.
Yeah.
Which that played into Wednesday night too. He got into foul trouble early, and 2 of the 3 that sat him down were just dumb.
Yep. Yeah, it's just been a weird sequence of basketball. It's just mistakes that Tennessee doesn't normally make, like a freaking lane violation. I mean, I guess that could be called all the time, but it's not.
It can be called all. I think there were 2 Vanderbilt players that committed the same violation.
Yeah. And then, fouling 3-point shooters, it's just stuff that Tennessee hasn't really done. And, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about how this team could be the best team in the country. And now we're real dumb. Yeah. And now we're sitting here, we lose 3 out of 4. And, one win at Auburn was the ugliest win possible. And you're sitting here, maybe you could be a 4 seed, maybe. I mean, I don't know. It looks bad. And, Julian Phillips was hurt. Josiah Jordan-James was hurt. So shorthanded, but still a Missouri team that's not great by any means. Still should be able to put them away with the talent that you have on this roster. And, it doesn't help that you welcome probably the best team in the country in Alabama on Wednesday.
Yeah, and that's another tough thing about that game that is going to go overlooked because of the loss and the way you lost is you were missing 2 starters, 2 key players. But if you can claw back from that 14, 17-point deficit, whatever it was at one point, claw back from that and you overcome those to get a win, you kind of get more credit. You get, no matter how it happened, you get the win. Missing those guys, you get more credit. Now it is an afterthought that those guys didn't play because of how you lost. And those things, I mean, they can matter not only to the fan base, but they can kind of matter in that locker room because I'll tell you, man, if this team can bounce back and win some crucial games, and just about any game you're going to win down this stretch is crucial now, credit to them because it wouldn't be hard to pack up and go home after those 2 losses. So I hope they bounce back, but it's going to be really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think trust is out the window. I think it's more of, hey, you got to find your way and get this fan base back because a lot of them are kind of tapped out. Getting ready for baseball season. This is kind of a weird period anyway.
I'll be back.
They always pull us back, right? They were up 17 last night. And we're like, oh, we can turn the game off. It's over. And then they claw back just to rip your heart out again. That's just what they do.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, and the kind of the benefit of the doubt is going to go to there's going to be 7 p.m. I still think a really good crowd. Probably not 21,000 like you had yesterday on hand, but you've got you still have a lot. You do still have a lot in front of you. It's just whether you decide how easy it's going to be or how hard it's going to be, and it's going to be hard.
Yeah,
is it worth it?
Yeah, how do you respond? I mean, this is adversity. I think the football team didn't. I mean, it wasn't the same collapse, but that collapse at South Carolina, you're like, how does this team respond? And they finished the season off great, even though you didn't kind of hit your goals. when you had a chance at the college football playoff there in front of you. But, this basketball team still has a lot in front of them, like you said. But, man, this one stings. And I just don't see it getting like when Josiah's back and Julian Phillips is back. Still, I just think that this team lacks an alpha.
No, I definitely think that's a problem, but I'm not going to look at it as it's hard. I know this is what everyone wants to kind of pinpoint and say this is what loses you game in March, not having the go-to guy. And I certainly agree with that. But this team didn't just drastically change in the span of 2 weeks. They've been this team the whole time. And I know it's a different environment in March, and it's a different environment even just down the stretch in SEC play. But this team, they almost scored 90 or almost 100 on Gonzaga. This team beat Kansas on a neutral court. This team played with Arizona away. I mean, like this team hasn't changed. They destroyed Texas at home, number 10 at the time, and then looked good this week against West Virginia. So I'm not trying to raise any – obviously these losses are abysmal and unexplainable, but it is the same team we have. And so I don't think it's impossible to win with the team that is out on the court. I do think it's panic button. I'm not saying it's too early. I think it's fair to hit it after those 2 losses, but this is that same team. I don't think it should be forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There has been something's been off. I mean, is there anything to these teams just lighting us up from 3? Is it just we're being lackadaisical on defense where we're not contesting threes, or is it just teams are just finding the hot hand?
It wasn't last night. I mean, how many threes did you just cover your head after and go? There's no one should ever make that.
Yeah,
well guarded, poor choice threes that are just falling. Mm-hmm. I mean, that one almost hit Chris Lofton's recently retired number and went in late in the game. So I do think they haven't looked quite as tight defensively as they had before. I think the biggest glaring issue is I just don't think we rotate well. I don't know what the fix is to that. We're not switching efficiently up top when guys are getting picked, and that's an issue. But I'm just meaning people are acting like it's impossible to win with this team when it's not. They've won plenty and they beat great opponents. That's all I mean.
Yeah,
there's obviously something going on that needs to be fixed, but they've done it before. I think they could do it again.
Yeah, we'll see. Tough week.
Tough week. I want to get out of it.
We're
almost out of it.
I mean, I walked in Gypsy Circus like I had everything topped out. Like I had the Rick Barnes thumbs up ready, comeback Kings, and just wow. Unreal.
Yeah. And I mean, almost a half court buzzer beater too makes it sting even worse. A moment that you love to see in college basketball. You see way more of those running down the court floaters in college basketball. Well, it really sucks when it happens to you and your team.
Do you not stop the ball there?
I don't.
Are you just letting them shoot?
I'm not. I'm almost, especially with the luck. Next time, if this is the Alabama game on Wednesday night, you foul them. You foul them and you take it to overtime if they hit both. Because
it's going in if they get it
all. It's going in.
Yeah.
No, I'm probably defending the ball, but I mean, I even thought we fouled him on the shot. I thought he was going to the line if it didn't go in.
Well, speaking of losing 3 out of 4, I mean that fourth it could have been 4 out of 4. If they call a foul on Kumar for Wendell Green, it could have been a foul.
It could have been. That is Wendell's fault. If you wrap your legs around the guy, I don't think they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
No.
So maybe just cool it on the theatrics.
But it almost went in anyway.
It almost went in too. Yeah. maybe that started the luck. Maybe it was a foul, and this is just a long game of ball never lies.
But something that does worry me, I think Tennessee is going to play with everybody. I don't think they get blown out by anybody. Kentucky and Florida were just a weird game, but I think in March, this team pretty much plays with everybody. I worry about close game at the end. Is this in the back of your mind?
That not only that, it goes back into that. who's your guy shooting? I don't know on this team. If you have the ball last, and I again, that's why I recognize, and I don't discredit
for now.
Yeah, for real. I don't discredit the alpha theory and having the go-to guy. I just discredit acting like this team can't win ball games.
Yeah, it's tough. Get us back.
It's not fun.
Here's the thing: if you go out there and beat Alabama on Wednesday,
it's all forgotten.
Everybody
it's
back.
all forgotten.
Yeah,
it's all forgotten.
Gosh.
Well, I shouldn't say all forgotten because there are, and it's insufferable. And I like to be right. I do. But I'd rather Tennessee win every single game than me be right for the rest of my life. That's how big of a fan I am. So if you'd rather be right than Tennessee be good, you're not a fan. I'm sorry. There's going to be people out there rooting against them always.
Here's your glass half full kind of statement for me. Are we getting all the heartbreak losses out of the way?
I kind of think maybe yes, and also getting just all of the weird March play out of the way is my hope.
Yeah, I like that. Nobody comes in streaky from three. We just all that is out of the way. Damn.
These have felt like March losses, man. These have felt like first weekend of the tournament, SEC championship game losses that Tennessee's put on in the last few years. So I'm hoping that just means we got it. That's a month early. That's plenty of time. That's good on me.
Yeah. What's your response like? I did see Tyreek Key kind of throw the ball up in the air. I mean, dude, I hope it pisses off this team. I really do. I hope they get pissed off and they just go in and just beat the living crap, because I think the defense, has taken a little bit of step back. And I know you look at the Auburn game, they scored 43 points. Hard to say a lot about that defense.
That was an ugly basketball game, all in all.
Yeah. But Missouri shouldn't score that many points on this defense ever. I don't care how many threes they hit.
Well, yeah. I mean, at one point they were just seeing if they were hot. They were heat checking, and they didn't get the chance to stop heat checking. I mean, everything went in.
Yep. Also, Pat Adams, go get hit by a truck, please.
Did that for not a block on Zakai Ziegler at the half court line. Gave us 3 signals because we didn't see the first. We didn't see the first one, so we needed to see the third.
There was one where Santi gets thrown to the ground on a rebound.
Yeah.
No call. Just a frustrating game all the way around. Just sucks that, we had could you not make it a little easier on us? Just lose by 17. I would rather lose by 17 than lose like that.
Nah, I'm sorry. I can't agree with that.
You'd rather lose on a buzzer beater?
Were you in Columbia? Do you remember that loss? Because I would equate that to a 17-point loss on the basketball court. Pretty dang close.
Wait, what?
South Carolina?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. None of them are fun, but at least this one – because this one you can't do anything but be mad. Or on 17, you can't do anything but be mad. That's all you are. It's like we suck. It's no fun.
That's kind of how I felt last night, too, honestly.
Well, you get all the emotions. Makes it more fun. You suck. We're sad. How could this happen to us? Has this happened to any team before? It probably has, but it was probably 1932 before the three-point line was even around. Like it's just stupid that we got beat on back-to-back buzzer beaters after missed free throws. Insanity.
Yeah, what was the prop on that to get beat by another buzzer beater that night? I mean, it had to be plus like 5,000 at least.
It is ridiculous. At least it didn't happen away. I don't know if Missouri would have stormed there, but that would have sucked to have two stormings back to back. Can't imagine. I wonder what that feels like.
Who knows? I do have a question. We have a listener question here, so I'll go ahead and get to that because it does have to do with basketball. Should Tobe Awaka start?
I don't know. I mean, he's good, but I don't know. I don't know if he's one of your better two. I don't know.
Well,
probably a good argument for yesterday.
Oh, I do think if Josiah's out, you're going to have two, post players in there. I think Tobe Awaka has to be one of them.
Do you go with Tobe and Adu though, or Tobe and Kumwa?
I'm probably going Adu.
I probably am too, and that's probably the only scenario where I would consider starting Awaka.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how much I don't want him to get a foul within the first minute of the game on something, just physical and kind of useless. I think's the right way to put that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think any of our bigs are all that great right now, and that's really hindering us. And man, Wednesday night would be a great time for them to play good because they will have a good game against Alabama if they're playing good.
Well, there's no inside scoring threat
at all.
So they can play 1-on-1, and no one's going to ever double team one of our bigs. Why would you? I think that's why Kentucky was lining it up. They're able to get it to Sheboy. We double team, kick out, hit a three. I mean, that's kind of their whole game plan was take advantage of the double team, and because our post players couldn't handle Sheboy 1-on-1. And I just don't think we have a skilled enough big down low to
it doesn't seem like
be a threat offensively.
Yep. Certainly doesn't seem like it.
What about BJ Edwards getting in? That was
his first shot.
Yeah, that was he had 4 points.
It was a good 6 minutes.
I think that was I think a lot of it had to do with Julian Phillips not being in the game.
Yeah.
But I do think it was kind of a hey, if y'all are wanting to play, I'll get somebody else in.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there was a shakeup of the lineup trying to just find something that would work yesterday. And BJ Edwards wasn't necessarily a part of the comeback, but he kind of got some energy going there that helped start it.
He looks super athletic. Yeah, I think he could help this basketball team.
I don't know how much he could help with a healthy roster, but yeah, I think in situations like yesterday, you're probably going to have to play him for at least a few minutes.
Yep. Man, just a tough week. I hate that we had when we were like, yeah, we'll probably go before the Super Bowl. I woke up this morning, I was like, man, I don't even want.
You could have waved me off, buddy. I was good talking. We can move on from basketball. I'm good talking about this.
We're dedicated.
Yeah, we did just kind of get into the show because we were angry and or sad. But I do, before we want to move on any farther, I want to give a good shout out to our friends at Underdog Collectibles. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectibles store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Stop by the University Commons Shopping Center next to Publix and Domino's to check them out. Open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. Remember to always bet on the Underdog. Shout out to Underdog Collectibles. Make sure you go check them out, University Commons Way. They opened up a Drew Gilbert rookie card last night.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It's pretty sick. So make sure you're checking them out, following them on social media, keeping up with everything going on down in University Commons. We'll take care of you, We talked about baseball seasons coming up, timing of baseball games.
5 days.
Good to get over there and check the shop out before you head. And probably not as big for baseball, but one good note too about football: if you're going to the game, you want to buy something, they'll hold it for you. Assuming probably game time is probably important. 7 o'clock kickoff or tip off. Probably not a good idea. You have to pick it up another day. I'm sure they'd be happy to hold it for you there, but that way nothing breaks. Don't lose it. So you can still shop there though.
Yep. Check them out. Great people over there. I'm kind of done with basketball. You ready to move on?
Yeah, no, definitely. That was the idea. Super Bowl. Go Birds. Riding with Joe. I know he's prepping for the Super Bowl, hopefully over COVID, but we're riding with the Eagles, right?
Man, I do think this is a really good matchup because I do think it's like what's more important is the best player in football more important than the probably best offensive and defensive line like the Eagles have? I don't know. And I do think Andy Reid has a leg up on Nick Sirianni, who's in his second year with the Eagles. And Andy Reid's probably one of the best coaches of all time. So I do think it's interesting to see kind of who wins that matchup. I think the Eagles have a better roster, but dude, Patrick Mahomes is on the Chiefs, so you're never out of a game when Patrick Mahomes is under center.
Yeah, no, I definitely one of the best, if not the best player in the NFL right now. How healthy is he? Was it just because they never said what it was, right? Just ankle.
Yeah.
He had 2 weeks. We're good. That's my biggest question. Is how healthy is he? He's going to go for the Super Bowl if he can walk. He's going to go. Right. He's going to go out there. So that is my biggest question mark in the game, I think.
Yeah, how mobile can he be? Because the Eagles lead the NFL in sacks, so that's going to be interesting to watch out for. Hassan Reddick too is, he was great with the Panthers last year. Wanted to stay, they didn't want to pay him, so he went to the Eagles, and now he leads the NFL in sacks. So, props to the Panthers for.
Yeah. Okay. No, we're not giving the Panthers any credit. Not going to happen.
Yeah. Props to them for just sucking and not being able to manage their roster. I appreciate it. I do think it will be. Jalen Hurts is good.
Jalen Hurts is good. Devontae Smith is good.
Yeah, that's another
Brown
kind of matchup
good.
I'm interesting to. It's going to be interesting to see is the Chiefs have a young secondary that they start. A couple rookies in the secondary. How do they hold up against Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown?
See, and I'm just going to go with not well, but
I just hope for a good game. I hope it's not a blowout. I just want to see a decent game in the.
I don't think this game could be a blowout. I could see this game being one of those that feels like it's never quite in reach for like the Chiefs, but at the same time, I think the Chiefs have so many weapons. I do think they'll be able to score when they need to. But it could feel like one of those where it's like a 10-point lead kind of the whole time and just never feels like they get into it.
Mm-hmm.
I could
Do you have any bets going?
I don't right now, other than first kickoff touchback is the only one I have in right now. I'm thinking about,
so that's good.
Well, it's just the NFL too. Unless they're trying to see, I didn't do enough research either. That would suck if I found out both teams tried to set up short kickoff returns. That'd be a brutal find. Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown score, I'm going to take. That seems like a lock.
See, I have that in a parlay with both teams over 17.5 points.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
That's why I want it to be a good game. I don't really care who wins.
We just hope both teams have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to see Trey Smith win a Super Bowl because I can't wait to tweet at Mike Farrell after the game.
He's probably already got one ready. Like, stop sending me this about the gift baskets.
Oh, I'm already blocked, so I'll have to do it from the More Important Issues account, which is fine. Because literally every time, like, I see a highlight of Trey Smith, I tag Mike Farrell. So, yeah, doesn't like me too much. Oh, well.
Good on him for blocking you. That's better than just
well, I'm waiting for my gift basket.
Yeah, for real. Because I did think he was a 5-star.
Yeah.
So
last time I checked, yeah.
I would like that gift basket.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what he sends. Chocolate Turtles, Michael Scott.
Do you think he's more mad that he was wrong about that, or the fact that he never got any gift baskets?
He might be upset about the gift baskets. I never considered that angle.
Yeah. Gift baskets are awesome. I think they like when we were younger. I feel like they were overrated. Now it's like, dude, a gift basket's pretty sick.
If they're tailored to individuals, if they're just run of the mill gift baskets, I'm out on them.
Okay, yeah,
you're always guaranteed to have like 2 things in there you don't like. They've got to be custom crafted.
Yeah, I definitely don't want a random. Which you're a big candle guy, but I
love candles.
I'm not a huge. I'm more of like I like lighting. So like we got some lamps that can like change colors.
That sounds like you had a rave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you can put it on like this light back here.
Yeah, like a college dorm room.
Yeah, I like those lights. Hey, don't come at me.
Do they dim?
You can also like put them on like a normal setting, but if you want to set the mood or like
Get a
watch a
little blue
TV
and-
show, put it
You
as
put
like
on green and white tonight?
yeah, I
Okay.
can.
You should.
All right, that's what we're doing. We're betting on the Eagles.
Eagles to win.
Let's do it.
We're riding with you, Joe. So it's on you.
Also,
Go
like I just want to see another Jason Kelsey speech after.
So you going money line, or are you just going to take the
I'll probably just go money line. Yeah, I'm not
spread's just 1.5 on FanDuel? I mean,
I know, but good God, that would be my luck. We've already had some bad luck this week. I'm not going to test it.
all right, bets in.
All right.
Put the bankroll on the Eagles.
Yep.
I didn't
Putting the mortgage down on it.
call my bookie and get some funds moved in.
Yeah. Rearrange.
Yeah, definitely. All right, most important of the week.
I have one more question. One more listener question.
It's unfortunate.
We might have said this before, but I'm not 100% sure. What sport do you think takes the most skill?
Hockey. It's hockey
right.
by a long shot.
All right, let's do like normal sports.
It's one of the big
it's
four.
not. It's not.
It's one. Yes, it is.
It's big. Let's do big three. Let's do that. Actually, has like university funding from like every school. Let's do those: basketball, baseball, football.
Well, you got to take baseball out of that one then, if you're talking funding.
Hey, ours makes money.
You said from every school. You've already clearly outlined your rules.
Well, I mean that's probably not true for some football programs too. I've seen UCLA's attendance.
It's hockey though. I mean, by a long shot. Everything you do on a basketball court, almost everything you do on a football field, a lot of what you do on a baseball field, and you're on ice and blades.
Well, when I don't necessarily disagree. I just don't know because I'm kind of speaking from like when we were in high school. Like I didn't know anybody who played freaking hockey.
Oh yeah, but you've been on ice skates and then you played sports. So you just imagine playing that sport on ice skates at speed. Like it's hockey.
Yeah, maybe.
Swing a baseball bat or a golf club or whatever on ice without skates on. It's hard.
I'm not like necessarily disagree. I just don't know. Like
I don't
if
think you
I'm
need to
going if I'm going big three, I'm probably going baseball. I think
But baseball really just has like one element that is extremely hard. Not that the other elements aren't hard, but I think they're respectively hard compared to other sports.
I'm just going like more of your better like most of your best athletes in your high school probably play baseball.
I don't know. I went to one school. But I think that's a cultural. Is that not a cultural thing though? Like we grew up in the South where baseball's huge. Like every kid plays baseball growing up.
Yeah. Well, I mean that would probably be the same as like up north, and what would be up north? I guess hockey would be.
It'll be a mix of hockey. Football's kind of not as big, depending on where at Northeast. Not as big growing up, or at least like high school when you get into that. But I mean, soccer is big in the Northeast, but football in the Northwest, like in Michigan, Minnesota, yeah, it's a lot of hockey. But baseball and basketball, I think it varies on culturally where you play. I think baseball has the hardest single thing to do in a sport.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But as far as everything else in it, I think it's similar to other difficult things in sports.
So you're talking? I'm guessing you're talking about hitting.
Yeah, hitting a baseball is the single hardest thing to do in sports.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if I took out people of my athletic ability, we also kind of assume it to be like, oh, I just walk out and have to hit a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Like that's absurd.
Yeah.
Nobody plays baseball for the first time having hit that. If you took 10 Caleb's out onto a field, I could hit my fastball, I'm sure, at a decent success rate.
Well, I think fielding is something that is pretty difficult too.
No, fielding, yeah, but like compare it to playing corner. Again, if you had to go play corner at a high level, all of a sudden, it would be the equivalent of fielding a ground ball at a high level.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like it is difficult, but you could teach someone that who is decently athletic to do it really well.
I'm kind of thinking basketball is difficult because like there's athletic people that can't shoot worth a crap.
Basketball is incredible. I think basketball would probably be overall probably my number 2.
Okay.
Because there also are in basketball, football, you're not playing.
Football, you can just be a freaking nutcase. And
well, it's kind of like hockey. You're playing 5 different positions at the same time.
Yeah.
Same as basketball. Like you could be forced into different scenarios that you're probably not good at. Baseball, you're essentially, again, take out the hardest part of it, which I think is the hardest part of any sport. You take out that, and it's, you're playing one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But basketball also probably has an equilibrium of like where if you're really big and somewhat athletic, you're probably pretty good.
Right. Yeah, and that doesn't not like in baseball, the size thing I don't think is a huge factor.
It can, it can help you do certain things. Like it's probably nice to have long legs and play first base, or be tall and fast, and you can play in the outfield a little, better, easier than others.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the gap, I guess, like no matter how good that 4'11" kid is at basketball, if you're going up against 7-footer, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. No, I think basketball is probably one of the harder ones. I think they're all just so unique. I don't think it is comparable, but for the sake of the argument, obviously, I'll stand by hockey, and then I don't know. Maybe basketball. I think baseball is extremely tough, but I don't. Other than hitting, I don't think it would be number 1 for sure.
I just love seeing like athletic people in one sport try to play another sport and look completely unathletic.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing.
Playing soccer probably would be that same thing.
But that's like the highlight. Yeah, if you walk up, there's not a single sport in the world, I don't think, that someone could just pick up in a day. So, maybe not single sport, but single like.
So would you think football is probably the easiest?
See, no, I don't. I maybe the easiest to. That's the thing is I think they're all extremely hard. I do. It depends. Again, yeah. What are we talking? Like you walk in, you got to play at even like a top high school level, because like there are some guys that could do that, but there are also probably a lot of guys that could look like idiots.
Yeah,
if they had to go play at IMG tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of just like 7-on-7. Like I feel like anybody that's semi-athletic could probably go out there and play 7-on-7.
Probably. And then there's probably a lot of guys that could go play in a normal game if you just gave them a half-decent quarterback.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Quarterback is easier on the body than every position on the field besides kickers, but as far as difficulty level, it's probably one of the more difficult ones to play.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting. I don't think there's a good debate to be had about it, but we can continue to try.
No.
It can't be.
I just want to get your take. I just saw that question and just wanted to.
That's another element of hockey. Imagine being a baseball catcher, but you you're gonna probably get hit with the baseball every time it comes your way. You can't really catch it. You're just trying to block and hit it.
That's it. That's something I didn't think about. Like a catcher. I mean, that would be like them being a goalie would in soccer.
Yeah, but soccer you almost have
kind of different. But
soccer you almost have the level of you kind of expect to get a hand on everything, whereas in hockey it's just any body part.
Yeah. But I do think that would be easier. Like a catcher playing like goalie in hockey would be easier than a catcher probably getting on the basketball court.
Probably. Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Goalie's probably the weirdest position in hockey because it's probably technically the easiest on the court, but it's extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing about like hockey and soccer goalies. Hockey goalies aren't necessarily set up for failure. Soccer goalies are 100% set up for failure. They're playing in a goal like 4 times their size, 3 times their size. Like you're not necessarily supposed to save everything.
Right. All right. Well, most important.
Most important. I got kind of a most important fail. Did you see? I guess Patrick Mahomes earlier in the week said that his favorite singer was Rihanna, and then they had him in a press conference, and they told him that Rihanna said he was his favorite quarterback. She was his favorite quarterback.
Oh,
He was her favorite quarterback, and they had him go in there for a minute. He got real happy, and then the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm just kidding." She didn't say that. I don't think he expected him to be so excited about it, but poor guy.
I had one, and we didn't really talk about this, but Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC July 1st, 2024.
Yeah. Yep. $100 million playing the SEC. Probably a good business move. They'll probably make that in the first year. It's $50 million each school. So,
Jesus. I'm interested to see kind of how that looks. It looks like it's going to be the 3 permanent, 6 rotating.
which is probably how it should be. That's probably, I think, the best method to do it.
Yeah,
I didn't
Tennessee's guaranteed to get. I mean, if you're trying to make it make sense, which we know how the SEC is when it comes to like transfers and stuff like that, but the logical thing would be Tennessee gets Vanderbilt, of course, Alabama probably, and Kentucky.
Yeah, I think it's Kentucky. I think Florida gets they do get Georgia and LSU for sure. I don't know who their third East team is, so I think there's a chance of Florida, but I think it could be Kentucky.
Yeah.
Who would Florida's third be, you think?
Maybe South Carolina.
Maybe South Carolina. I don't know, though. South Carolina's would be A&M, and, yeah, it might be by default. Maybe Georgia. They might get Georgia.
So Georgia would get
Auburn, Florida, and South Carolina, if that's the case.
Auburn's getting the short end of the stick.
Well, they'll get Georgia, Alabama, and LSU, maybe?
Or Missouri.
They could get Missouri, so they could look out there. No. They're East. Well, I don't know if they'll try to keep it even.
Oh, maybe Arkansas or State.
Maybe. I think LSU will get Alabama, Arkansas, and Florida. Arkansas would get Missouri, LSU, probably A&M will probably be Arkansas's third. So I think that would leave Auburn, A&M, right? Or maybe Auburn, Ole Miss, Auburn State, one of those teams. Maybe.
Yeah, I just think you try to keep the rivalries that are already there.
I think they will. I think the Kentucky one, though, is so kind of an afterthought. And I think it would take place of Vanderbilt if Vanderbilt wasn't in Tennessee.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So that's where I think we could either get Florida or Kentucky. Because the Florida-Tennessee rivalry was thought of pretty highly in the 90s, in the early 2000s. But thanks to us.
So we should bring back the beer barrel is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think we should, so we can try to – I mean, I'm not saying, Kentucky or Florida looks like they're on the opposite way of Kentucky right now, but I'm happy not having to play them every year. That wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Right.
Watch us get Georgia. It would just make sense.
Georgia and Alabama.
Georgia, Alabama. And then, hey, Vanderbilt, guys, don't worry. It ain't all bad.
Yeah, that would suck. I mean, yeah, poor Auburn, because I think they get hit with both.
They get Georgia. They definitely get Georgia, Alabama. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
I want to see. I really hope we keep Alabama if that happens. I think we do, but we need to. I know it sucked the last 15 years, but this year, how much fun was this year, guys?
Yeah.
Think about how much fun next year will be.
Best day of my life.
That was all I had for most. Well, does this look like grit? I meant to tweet it at him. Can you see it? It probably looks more like grit without a clear image.
Yeah, it does kind of look like grit. I have one more. It's Mama Kelsey. Did you see her game day fit?
Who is it?
Jason and Travis Kelsey's mom.
Oh, Mama Kelsey. I know
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's got.
Yeah.
You did see it?
Yeah, I did.
It's pretty dope.
The half jersey.
She got the jacket. Half
She got a
jacket.
jacket too. I haven't seen the jacket.
And then she's got the shoes. She's got one is the Chiefs with 87 and one was the Eagles with 62.
Nice.
They look like some J's of some sort.
Probably.
Yeah.
Dang.
She's got it going.
Yeah, for real.
Also, like,
I wonder who she's actually cheering for.
I mean, she's living like her. This is the best case scenario, right?
For sure.
And she probably never has to work another day in her life. So good for her.
That's been a long time ago. She's been
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
been
she-
good. So,
She had good genes. I mean,
for real. Good for her.
so I'll go fail, and this is kind of another fit. Juju Smith-Schuster. Did you see he was wearing a kilt?
No. Whoa. We're not hating on kilts here.
I mean,
I think he's rocking it. I think Juju Smith-Schuster rocks a kilt.
so are you feeling worse about your bet now?
No.
Oh, you still feel good about it?
Yeah. No, I feel fine.
Okay. So the kilt didn't have anything to do. It didn't sway you either way.
No. I don't think it's a bad fit, but no, I don't think it's I would associate it with winning or losing.
Okay.
That's all I've got. I'm ready to go eat.
Yep. That's
Ready
all I
to-
got.
Hopefully enjoy this game.
Yeah. Guys, enjoy it. We'll be back Thursday.
Thursday. Baseball. Right around the
Baseball
corner.
starts.
Arizona.
Yeah. Baseball starts on Friday in Arizona. So look forward to that. 5 days away. And see you guys back. Hopefully with a win over Bama. Please just do something. Please. Guys, thanks again. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.